Hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about one of the ugliest games of the 2024 NFL season, the Seattle Seahawks nail-biting 6-3 victory over the Chicago Bears. Yes, you heard that right, a 6-3 game. Trust me, it was as painful to watch as it sounds. But there's a lot to unpack. So let's dive right in. First of all, let's talk about the quarterbacks. Geno Smith and Caleb Williams were both struggling throughout the night. Geno, who's been with Seattle for a while, is approaching 35 and facing questions about his future with the team. His performance last night isn't exactly going to ease those concerns. On the other hand, Caleb Williams, the #1 overall pick this year, is a rookie in Chicago and is already facing some serious growing pains. With both teams being in flux, it's safe to say that the quarterback position is going to be a huge offseason topic for both the Seahawks and Bears. The game started as badly as you'd expect for two teams trying to stay relevant in the playoff race but struggling mightily on offense. Both teams combined for just 3 field goals in the first half. The Bears, who have had a terrible time scoring early in games all season, didn't even manage a point in the first quarter, something they've been doing consistently this season. And Seattle wasn't much better. Neither quarterback managed to crack 100 yards passing in the first half. It was a battle of field goals, and Seattle had a slight edge at 6-3 going into halftime. And then came the second half, which was, somehow, even worse than the first. The game stayed at 6-3 for what felt like forever. The Bears' offense couldn't get going. With multiple stalled drives and Caleb Williams taking hit after hit, the Bears did have a little hope in the final minutes, with a few big-time plays by Williams, including a desperate heave to DJ Moore that gave them a glimmer of life. But as the clock ticked down, the Bears fell into their usual sloppy habits. They had a false start on 4th and inches, mismanaged the clock, and eventually, Williams threw an interception on a desperate 4th and 10 attempt to seal the game for the Seahawks. So, what's next for both of these teams? Well, for the Seahawks, the question is whether Geno Smith is the guy they want to stick with moving forward. He's shown flashes of solid play, but his inconsistency has been a concern. Meanwhile, the Bears have a much bigger question to answer. Caleb Williams was drafted with huge expectations, but it's clear he's struggled this season, partly due to the poor offensive line play. The Bears need to hire a new head coach who can bring out the best in Williams. But the track record of the Bears front office makes it hard to trust them to make the right call. One thing is certain, though, the Bears' offseason will be all about fixing their offense and developing Caleb Williams, while the Seahawks will have to figure out if Geno is still their guy or if they need to look for a new QB to take them into the future. Alright, that's all for today. If you somehow made it through this train wreck of a game with us, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more NFL updates and analysis. Stay tuned for more content as we head into the offseason. And who knows, maybe both of these teams will look a lot different next season. Catch you in the next one. Hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a football fan, today's video is gonna be a treat because we're diving into an interesting and intense conversation about a record that stood for 40 years. That's right, we're talking about the legendary Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record, and whether Saquon Barkley, who's been lighting up the field for the Philadelphia Eagles, has what it takes to break it. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss any of the latest NFL news, hot takes, or analysis. Alright, let's jump in. For those who don't know, Eric Dickerson set the single-season rushing record back in 1984 with a mind-blowing 2.105 yards as a member of the Los Angeles Rams. And now, 40 years later, Saquon Barkley, at 27 years old, is charging towards it, sitting just 268 yards away from breaking that record with only 2 games left in the season. Barkley's not only aiming for Dickerson's record, though, he's also eyeing the prestigious 2.000-yard club, something only a handful of players have ever accomplished. So, what does Eric Dickerson think about the possibility of Barkley breaking his record? Well, let's just say, it's a mix of respect, competition, and a little bit of playful reluctance. Dickerson said, "I don't think he'll break it. But if he does, he does." He was pretty clear that he doesn't want his record to be broken. But hey, if Barkley manages to do it, it's all part of the game. But here's the kicker. Dickerson's not bothered by the fact that Barkley has 17 games to do it while he only had 16. He's actually a fan of O.J. Simpson, who set his 2.000-yard record in just 14 games back in 1973. Dickerson points out that getting to 2.000 yards is already a massive accomplishment, regardless of how many games you get. Now, when asked about Barkley as a player, Dickerson was all praise. He likes him, but of course, Dickerson is a fan of bigger backs. And while Barkley isn't quite in his physical mold, Dickerson respects his toughness, elusiveness, and versatility. He also made a pretty interesting point. He always felt Barkley's true potential wasn't fully realized when he was with the New York Giants. You can take Emmitt Smith and put him in Cleveland, and he'd have never been Emmitt Smith. Dickerson says, in other words, location and supporting talent are huge factors in a player's success. No matter how great you are, if you don't have a solid team in front of you, it's going to be tough. And speaking of teammates, Dickerson knows exactly how important his offensive line was to his own success. He couldn't stop laughing about Brock Purdy buying his offensive line brand new Tundras, and even jokingly shared that back in the day. With his $175 salary, he could have maybe afforded 2 Tundras, and then he'd be broke. But seriously, those blockers are crucial. The appreciation for those guys never goes unnoticed, and Dickerson always made sure to thank his own. As for watching Barkley play, Dickerson doesn't exactly sit down and watch every game, except when the Rams are playing, of course. But he admits he'll keep an eye on Barkley's progress. With so many texts blowing up his phone, he can't avoid it. Now, let's talk Rams. Dickerson had some thoughts on Rams running back Kyren Williams, who's been doing his thing this season, carrying the ball a crazy amount of times. That takes a toll on you. Dickerson said, he's not a real big guy, so that says a lot about him as a player. He also gave high praise to Rams head coach Sean McVay, pointing out how well he's coached a young team that's been hit with injuries but still has a shot at the NFC West title. Oh, and speaking of coaches, Dickerson thinks McVay absolutely deserves to be in the Coach of the Year conversation. Even if he doesn't end up winning it, he's done wonders with a decimated team. And honestly, a little more recognition wouldn't hurt. Finally, when asked about the Giants letting Barkley go, Dickerson didn't hold back. Some of these guys who run these teams have as much sense as me being the President of the United States. Ouch. But hey, that's just how he feels, sometimes. The decisions teams make don't always seem to add up. And can you imagine the irony if Barkley breaks Dickerson's record against the team that let him go? A total slap in the face to the Giants. And it would just add to the drama of this whole situation. Alright, guys, that's all for today's video. It's clear there's a lot of excitement surrounding Barkley's potential to break this legendary record. But one thing's for sure, Eric Dickerson's place in NFL history is secure for now. Whether Barkley gets close or not. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll keep you updated on all the latest NFL action and drama. So stay tuned for more. Until next time, take care and keep loving football. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, let's dive into a hilarious little moment from the Kansas City Chiefs' Christmas Day win over the Pittsburgh Steelers that has everyone talking. Patrick Mahomes' reaction to Netflix's festive football-shaped cake. I know, it sounds funny, but trust me, it's more entertaining than it seems. After the Chiefs' big win, Mahomes and his teammate, Travis Kelce, hopped onto a Netflix livestream where the interviewer handed them some football-shaped cakes. Kelce, of course, was all in, excitedly digging into the red velvet treat with a cheerful, "Oh, yeah, look at that, a little red velvet." But Mahomes? Well, not so much. He hesitated, holding his piece of cake awkwardly, clearly not as thrilled about the dessert. When asked why he didn't take a bite, Mahomes straight up said, "I'm watching my weight for playoffs." Classic Mahomes. The guy's got a game face on even when it comes to cake. But don't worry, Kelce had the situation covered, suggesting they take the cake to the locker room for photos. Mahomes, still a good sport, added, "Coach Reid's ready for it. I'll take it to him." Now that's what I call keeping it professional, even after a holiday win. But Mahomes didn't completely snub Netflix. He didn't want the cake. But he did rock a red and white NFL-themed coat covered in candy canes. He and Kelce strutted into the locker room, both wearing their holiday best, looking like the festive champions they are. Speaking of Kelce, the guy was in full holiday spirit, showing up to the game wearing a red Santa hat. His girlfriend, pop star Taylor Swift, wasn't at the game, but she showed her love and support by liking an Instagram post celebrating Kelce's record-breaking achievement, surpassing the Chiefs' franchise record for most receiving touchdowns. On the other hand, Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany, had a quieter holiday. She spent Christmas at home in Kansas City with their kids, Sterling and Bronze, and of course, her growing baby bump, Brittany, who's due to give birth any day now. Shared some adorable moments on Instagram, including photos of their kids baking and wearing matching pajamas. Honestly, nothing says holiday magic like that. Right? Alright, that's it for today. What do you think of Mahomes' no-cake decision? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe for more NFL updates, fun stories, and all the behind-the-scenes action. See you next time. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we've got a hilarious story straight from the Kansas City Chiefs' Christmas Day win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. After sealing a 29-10 victory and clinching the #1 seed in the AFC, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce were handed a special surprise, football-shaped cakes. Sounds festive, right? But the reactions from the two stars? Priceless. As they joined NFL reporter Stacey Dales for a post-game chat, Netflix gifted them with these football-shaped treats. Kelce, the cake enthusiast, was all in. He cracked open his football-shaped cake with a big smile and cheered. "Oh yeah, look at that, a little red velvet, classic Kelce," ready to dig in. But Mahomes? Not so much. He held his cake up, gave it a look, and then joked, "I'm watching my weight until playoffs. You know? Haha." Typical Mahomes. The guy's always focused on the bigger picture. And hey, who can blame him with the playoffs right around the corner? Kelce, ever the good teammate, couldn't let that moment go without chiming in. More push-aways than pull-ins. That's what Coach Andy Reid would say. Meanwhile, Kelce was happily digging into his victory cake, while Mahomes, ever the professional, decided to take it to the locker room. "Coach Reid's ready for it. I'll be taking it to him," Mahomes said. Talk about keeping it classy. But the cake wasn't the only thing making headlines. Mahomes also shared a sweet moment about his family, including his pregnant wife Brittany, their daughter Sterling, and their son Bronze. He joked about getting the #1 seed for the Chiefs so he could also get Brittany ready to have their baby. Looks like he's playing the long game, family first, football second. And of course, Kelce didn't miss out on the holiday spirit either. He and his girlfriend, pop star Taylor Swift, gifted presents to Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones and his girlfriend, Shiana Weathersby. Weathersby posted a photo of the beautifully wrapped gifts with a heartfelt note, saying, "So blessed and grateful this holiday season." Talk about spreading the Christmas cheer. The Chiefs still have one game left this season against the Broncos, so make sure you're staying tuned for that. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video for all the latest in NFL updates, fun moments, and team shenanigans. See you next time. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs didn't need much extra motivation heading into their Christmas Day showdown with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if there was any added urgency, it came from the most personal of places, his wife, Brittany, after the Chiefs secured a dominant 29-10 win over the Steelers, clinching the #1 seed in the AFC and a first-round bye in the playoffs. Mahomes shared an adorable and heartfelt reason behind his drive for that victory. With Brittany's due date fast approaching, Patrick joked that he wanted to ensure he could be by her side for the birth of their third child. "I told my wife I was gonna get her the #1 seed so we can go have that baby," Mahomes said, clearly balancing his professional and personal life with perfect timing. While the Chiefs were already in prime form and didn't necessarily need an extra push to beat the Steelers, Mahomes' urgency was palpable. With the top seed locked up, the Chiefs can now rest their starters, including Mahomes. Heading into the final regular season game, the quarterback won't need to play again until January 18 at the earliest, allowing him to be fully available for his growing family. That Christmas win was a special gift for the Mahomes family, giving Patrick the peace of mind to focus on what matters most, welcoming their new baby together. Talk about the best of both worlds. The Kansas City Chiefs have emerged from a grueling stretch of games with a clear identity and a renewed sense of confidence heading into the postseason. After clinching the AFC's #1 seed with a 29-10 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chiefs have made it clear that their resilience and growth over the past few weeks have sharpened them for the ultimate challenge, a playoff run that could make history with 3 straight Super Bowl titles. In the midst of this 15-1 season, which includes a season-best performance against Pittsburgh, the Chiefs have gone from a team that was struggling to find consistency to one that is hitting its stride at the perfect time. After a series of unremarkable wins, they are now showing their full potential with both offense and defense clicking on all cylinders. Offensively, quarterback Patrick Mahomes is playing at an elite level, posting a career-high 127.1 QB rating against the Steelers, thrown for 320 yards with no interceptions over the last 6 games. Tight end Travis Kelce, with 8 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown, surpassed 1.000 career receptions and set a franchise record for receiving touchdowns. Mahomes' ability to connect with his playmakers, including the rising talents of Xavier Worthy and Justin Watson, has given the Chiefs an offense that looks ready for the postseason. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' defense has stepped up in a major way, now leading the NFL in points allowed per game, 18. Over their last 3 games, they have been a takeaway machine, securing 10 turnovers, even with star defensive lineman Chris Jones sidelined due to injury. The defense is thriving, registering 5 sacks against Pittsburgh and showing signs of becoming one of the league's top defensive units. As the Chiefs prepare for their first playoff game in January, the key question will be maintaining focus during the extended break between now and then. Head coach Andy Reid faces the challenge of balancing rest and preparation, with the regular season finale against the Denver Broncos serving as a potential opportunity to rest key players. The Chiefs must keep their momentum and ensure they remain sharp for the postseason, knowing the competition will be fierce. For Mahomes and the Chiefs, the past few weeks have provided a blueprint for success, a perfect mix of grit, growth, and confidence. As Kelce aptly put it, only one way you can beat a challenge: you just take it head on. With the postseason on the horizon, the Chiefs are poised to face any challenge that comes their way. And if history is any indicator, they are ready to peak when it matters most. The Pittsburgh Steelers are facing a tough road ahead in their pursuit of the AFC North title, especially after their 29-10 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. As of halftime in the Baltimore Ravens vs. Houston Texans game, the Ravens are in complete control with a 17-2 lead, which, if it holds, would give Baltimore the AFC North lead heading into Week 18. For the Steelers to secure the division, they would need 2 things to happen. Pittsburgh must beat the Cincinnati Bengals at home in their final regular season game. The Bengals are still fighting for a playoff spot, so they will likely bring their best effort. The Ravens must lose to the Cleveland Browns in Baltimore, while the Browns may have nothing to play for in terms of the playoffs. They are still a tough team, and it's always a challenge to win in Baltimore, especially for a divisional rival. The Steelers' situation is complicated, as they now face the challenge of beating a motivated Bengals team, while hoping for an unlikely upset of the Ravens by the Browns. The lack of certainty about kickoff times adds another layer of uncertainty for Pittsburgh fans, as they would need to monitor both games closely. With a playoff spot already secured, the Steelers must now decide how much they want to push in Week 18. Do they rest key players to keep them fresh for the postseason? Or do they push for the division title despite the slim chance of the Ravens losing to the Browns? This decision will be crucial for Pittsburgh, especially considering the importance of keeping their momentum heading into the playoffs. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing great and ready for some exciting sports gossip. Today, we're diving into something that's got everyone buzzing: Travis Kelce's history-making moment. And of course, how his amazing girlfriend, Taylor Swift, is showing her support. So sit tight, grab some popcorn, and let's talk all things football and Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce hits historic milestone with 77th touchdown. You know, I don't think anyone really thought Travis Kelce could get even better than he already is. But he proved us all wrong in the Chiefs' Christmas Day game against the Steelers. Kelce snagged his 77th receiving touchdown, officially making him the Chiefs' record holder, surpassing the legendary Tony Gonzalez. And let me tell you, this is huge. I mean, breaking Tony Gonzalez's record? That's like trying to out-sing Beyoncé at karaoke. It's practically impossible, but Kelce did it. And guess who was watching all of this from the sidelines? Cheering him on? None other than his biggest fan, Taylor Swift. But instead of jumping on the field to hug him, which, honestly, would have been totally adorable, Taylor did the next best thing. She went on Instagram and liked every single post about Travis's incredible record. Yep, she's showing that Swiftie support in her own style. Now, if you think breaking records on the field is enough for Kelce, think again. This season, he also became the Chiefs' all-time leader in receptions after hauling in his 917th catch. Talk about a full-blown season of breaking records and making history. Kelce said it himself, being on top of the leaderboard next to someone like Tony Gonzalez is nothing short of an honor. He's not just playing for the stats, he's playing to match the legacy of an icon. The holiday spirit, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's festive gifting. But hey, it's not all about touchdowns and records, there's also the holiday spirit. And Taylor and Travis have been spreading cheer in the best possible way. For Christmas, the power couple showed their thoughtful side by gifting Chris Jones, the Chiefs' defensive tackle, and his girlfriend Shiana Weathersby some seriously cool presents. They gave them a Lewis $200, and wrapped gifts with a sweet note from Taylor that said, "Merry Christmas she and Chris." Travis and Taylor. It's like a secret Santa, but on a superstar level. Shiana even shared a picture of the gifts with a caption saying, "So blessed and grateful this holiday season. Thank you Tay. How adorable is that?" And in case you were wondering, yes, Travis's dad Ed Kelce has some pretty solid advice for gifting Taylor something special. He says forget the expensive stuff, it's about finding something that truly connects with Taylor. Apparently, a meaningful gift, like, say, something quirky and personal, could win her over even more than something that costs thousands. Sounds like a perfect strategy, right? Wrapping it up. A power couple with serious holiday vibes. So, there you have it. Taylor Swift is clearly all in when it comes to supporting Travis Kelce, both on and off the field. From her social media love to the sweet Christmas gifts for the Chiefs family. This couple's got the holiday spirit down. If you enjoyed hearing about Travis Kelce's big moment and how Taylor Swift is celebrating her man's achievements, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another juicy sports update or celebrity tidbit. And hey, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Let's spread the holiday cheer. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay awesome.